This title is not clickbait. We were scammed. We were 15 minutes away from spending almost $500,000 on a shipwreck. This is that story. We are the McKays. We plan on sailing to 100 islands, and this is the beginning of our boating adventure. We are on our way to the airport to go look at a boat. You saw the title of this. We really did get scammed. It was not clickbait. However, this time we're not gonna get scammed.
And at least if we do, it'll be in a whole new way.
Let us tell you the story.
Ready? All right then, onward through the storm.
Okay, so this is Captain Stan, and in the hero's journey, I am the lost soul, and he is like the sage oracle that is guiding me to not buying a crappy boat.
Would have been a bad idea, that boat. Beautiful boat, though.
Yeah. Well, in the broker...
Nothing worked.
So yes, we got scammed. But we need to tell the whole story. Start from the beginning.
In the beginning, there was nothing. And then God created the universe. Or did you want to start more recent than that?
More recent, but louder.
So I saw the ad, and I contacted the broker, and I said, look, this boat's a little out of our price range. Is the seller flexible, blah, blah, blah. And he says, yeah, he'll take $450 if you can close on the 15th, which is 1 month away. So I said, yeah, we can close on the 15th. That's no problem for us. So I bought tickets to go to Noumea to look at the boat.
The boat was in New Caledonia, which was perfect because it's right next door to Vanuatu.
Are you gonna go look at a boat?
I'm gonna go look at a boat.
Do you promise to vlog the whole thing?
I will definitely take some video, probably.
Thankfully, Dustin did vlog some of his trip as he went to buy what we thought would be our home.
I want to see is, my flight on time, and the status is relax. Promised my wife that I would vlog every step of the journey. So this is me walking towards a plane. And that's the plane that I'm walking towards over there. I'm still walking towards the plane over there. I'm about to step inside the plane. This is my first look. This is a Lagoon 500, 2009. And I'm gonna try figuring out how to get up. There's a ladder. That's how I get up. That's actually really nice. Staircase. No shoes. So this is the galley. And then here's the main salon. And it's actually really quite large. There's the door that goes out, and then there's 2 windows, 3 windows out. So, good separation of inside outside. So this is one of the main cabins. It's actually very large. I went and I looked at it, and to my eyes, it looked great.
We hired a surveyor.
He went through for about half an hour with me. Turns out a good survey should take about 8 hours. That one took about half an hour.
8 hours is very different from a half an hour.
Yeah. So we weren't able to test any of the systems because the boat was on the hard. But we were told that the engines were brand new, that the rigging was brand new, that the sails were brand new, that the navionics were brand new, and that the wiring was brand new. And some of that is true. The engines were brand new. The wiring was not brand new.
Why didn't they let you do a sea trial?
Oh, because he said, oh, the boat, you can do a sea trial as soon as you own the boat, but not while I own it because I don't have time for that. I'm going to Canada. I don't have time to deal with this. And so I was like, okay, I don't know any different or any better there.
Heads up, do a sea trial before you buy a boat.
Yeah. So I left. We put in an offer. The offer was accepted, but the offer was pending a couple things. One, first of all, that the boat was free of any encumbrances, meaning that there was no money owed on the boat and we could just take it. We set aside some money for a sea trial, like if things didn't go well on the sea trial, that he would get fixed. And then,
but not a lot, just like
a couple $1,000s, which isn't enough. We've learned. So anyhow, so we went through, and then.
And at this point, I like announced to everybody, I'm like, "This is not a drill. We bought a boat." Well, it turns out it was a drill.
Yeah.
A very big one.
Yeah, it was a good learning experience, though.
And so the naive newbies that we were had an accepted offer on the boat. This was for real. We thought that we were legit buying a boat.
So Lindy asked for more footage of me looking happy, but the truth is, I'm kind of nervous. I've done a lot of crazy things in my life, but none of them have had so much required of me as a person, and none of them have put my family kind of in harm's way if I'm not prepared. Now, I don't think sailing is inherently you know, deadly or anything. I mean, I think there's certainly risks, and we're doing everything we can to mitigate those risks, but yeah, it's feeling really real, and I'm feeling really nervous.
After checking out New Caledonia, Dustin flew home only to fly back 2 weeks later. All our money was in the hands of the broker for our cash offer. We had sold our house to buy this boat. We were putting all that we had into this. Dustin had bought a one-way ticket to New Caledonia because the plan was to sail back to Vanuatu immediately after signing the papers. But in order to sail back, we enlisted the help of our captain friend, Stan.
I flew back, and my neighbor said, hey, you know, one of our other neighbors was a captain for 24 years. You should call him up and talk to him. So I talked to him, and he said, you know, there's some things that you could have missed on the survey, but I'd love to come and help you get the boat in the water and get it ready and sail it home.
Captain Stan.
Hi.
Yeah. So what was your first impression of the boat?
My first impression was fear, because we were flying down, and I said, well, when can we arrange a sea trial? He says, oh, we can.
Yeah.
That was the first huge red flag.
Yeah, but when you looked at the boat.
So when I looked, once we did get there and looked at it, it looked good, and there was more red flags. Why is all the upholstery new? Why are all the mattresses new? Why is the subfloor not original? All this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And that was just the first impression. Then I started getting into going over the survey.
So I think that's the difference between experience and not experience.
Yeah.
I see everything brand new and I think, woohoo!
Yay.
You see everything brand new and
That's
you're like,
suspicious.
whoop, whoop, whoop. You know?
Well, it is suspicious.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe somebody just wanted new upholstery. Maybe somebody just wanted new mattresses. But it's always suspicious when you're dealing with boats that are in a cyclone-prone area, when there could have been damage. We started finding some damage right immediately that they did not disclose.
Yeah.
You open up. You can look into certain compartments, and you can see where the bottom had been ripped out and replaced. At any rate, Dustin immediately, he was all gung-ho, and the boat was quite beautiful, but I noticed right away the rigging was not new. So Dustin's shopping, he's getting things ready because we're going to sail the boat out.
We bought new
another
batteries and all sorts
suspicious
of
thing.
stuff.
The boat had no tools, no spares. Every compartment was emptied out.
Yeah.
That's also
no dishes, nothing.
Very suspicious on a used boat. Because those are things, if a boat's being used, it's going to have those things, especially the spares. Maybe somebody take the tools, but not the spares.
Yeah.
Had nothing. I'm going through and I'm finding cutoff wires that are green way back into them. I'm finding dead-ended hoses that don't go anywhere. I'm finding all kinds. It's just amazing that this boat of this age had this much stuff chopped up.
Yeah.
So then I realized, okay, well, it's going to require a rewire because these wires are all saltwater damaged. And another suspicious thing.
This is the fridge. It was never installed. We never installed it. We started to,
That wiring doesn't work. We don't know why. So it's sitting right here.
Oh, the night before, Dustin gets back from his shopping, and we sit down to have a talk about the boat and, you know, just regular chatting.
Yeah.
But I told him at that point, Dustin, you do not want this boat. And he listened to what I had to say. He took it into consideration. And then he went on to say, well, we'll just move ahead as if we're buying the boat. And I'm like, okay.
So Friday, we had gone to transfer the boat, delete the boat from the Numea's certificate, and put it in my name, essentially. So at that point, it would have been pretty irreversible. I could have sued him, but it would have been irreversible in terms of me owning the boat. I had forgotten my passport on the boat, and I needed to be there for the deletion certificate, so we never deleted the boat from Numea's registry, and we just said, okay, well, we'll do that Monday. And so Captain Stan told me Friday night, he's like, I've got some real concerns about the boat. And I said, okay, well, let's proceed as if we're going ahead because we're already here, and we'll continue learning. So we knew, we had found out Friday that there was potentially some yard fees owing on the boat. I had made the suggestion that the broker contact the yard and agree to send them the funds so that I knew that my boat would be unencumbered. However, big red flag, the seller did not want the broker to send the money to the yard to pay the fees. He just wanted the money getting sent to Canada, and we were supposed to trust him that he would pay the fees. And to be clear, these fees are in excess of $50,000. So this is like a real significant amount of money, and the yard would not launch the boat. They wouldn't put our boat in the water.
The yard had already sued him, and he still hadn't paid the yard.
Yeah. So clearly this is not, and the broker initially was like, well, we should just trust the seller that he'll pay the fees. And I said, no, I don't trust the seller. He's already lost a lawsuit paying these fees. So clearly he's not somebody who's willing to pay the fees, and I don't want to have to sue him in Canada. This just seems quite ridiculous. So well, that was Friday.
That was still more red flags.
That was still Friday.
The red flags start coming faster throughout the weekend.
That was Friday afternoon. So then Saturday morning, I got up to go use the bathroom, and I saw one of the yard guys, and he said, you know, it's not my business, but you know that boat came in here half sunk, and we had to rescue it, and he still hasn't paid for the rescue either.
Wait, what did he just say? Let's hear that again.
You know that boat came in here half sunk, and we had to rescue it, and he still hasn't paid for the rescue either.
Yes, you heard that right. This was a shipwreck.
So there was two things. There was the yard fees, and then there was the rescue, both of which were around $50,000. So another $100,000, and they wouldn't release the boat until that had been paid. And so none of that damage had ever been disclosed to me. So then I asked him, I said, well, what about the rigging? We were told it was replaced new, you know, a year and a half ago. He said, the boat's been here for 3 years, and the rigging's never been replaced. And I said, what about...
That was obvious.
Yeah, you know, and so, you know, and then we had lifted the sails that morning, and they were terrible. They were disgusting. They were newish, but they were deeply stained.
Certainly not new.
And they were not brand new, as had been represented. So as soon as he said that, I said, okay, I'm going to go talk to Stan. I talked to Stan. I said, we got to talk, but I also called the broker immediately. I said, we're not buying this boat. So we just spent 4 days, me and Captain Stan, getting engines commissioned, rigging redone, batteries put in, pressure washing, cleaning, getting the boat 100% ready to go. And then we talked to the yard manager, and it turns out that the boat has actually been half sunk, and the seller never decided to tell us. And it's encumbered, meaning he's lost a lawsuit, and we can't even launch the boat. And he's just like, oh, well, wait, trust me. And I'm like, trust you? Trust you to what? Continue lying. Yeah, exactly. Trust you to continue lying. You already have a lawsuit against you for not paying your bills. And then I am supposed to trust you that you will pay them after I own the boat and they have no leverage over you and you have all the money. Anyhow, so sadly, we're walking from this boat. We spent a few $1,000s, probably $4,000 just on batteries that we're giving away, chemicals.
Close to 60 hours of labor.
Yeah, 60 hours of labor. Plus the flights here and the hotel and the car rental, anyhow, all of that. So we're going to go find another boat. Really frustrating, but lesson learned. You know, and honestly, I've had more expensive lessons that cost me a lot more for a lot longer than this. So, whew, on to the next boat.
And that is how we got to this point. Dustin and Stan flew back to Vanuatu. After showing us the few treasures he had bought for the new Caledonia scam boat.
This is about $250 worth of wire to connect up the batteries, because he said all of the batteries and electrical was new, but there was just like cut wires everywhere. Look, frying pan, and beat the guy over the head with it.
We went back to the airport to head for New Zealand to look at a different boat.
Yeah, there was just too many no's.
Don't buy this boat.
We almost bought a boat that would have taken almost $100,000 to fix, and then had $100,000 in fees. So,
on top.
And it wasn't like we got a good deal for it. We got an average deal.
Yeah.
We had lost a lot of money, but thankfully we narrowly escaped buying a shipwreck. Join us next week as we go to New Zealand and find a catamaran that is hopefully legit.